Yeah, give me a crowd that's redneck and loud. We'll raise the roof. Hell, I might just stay.
What's going on, vinyl community? And more specifically, what's going on, David? David, Dark Side of the Zoom. And if you're not familiar with David or the name Dark Side of the Zoom, there's a link below. David is a newer member of the vinyl community who's quickly making a name for himself by making some fantastic videos with some great editing. They're entertaining, they're informed, and David's got a great collection, and he's picking up some really amazing records. Use the link down below. Make sure you go check out David. This video is for David's 50 subscribers contest. I think that is hilarious. Just a second. It's hilarious because he has 150 subscribers as of making this video. A couple of things are responsible for that. The aforementioned making fantastic videos, having a great collection, and contributing to the vinyl community. He deserves every one of them. Also, because when he originally posted this contest, round about a redneck month ago, he only had 50 subscribers. So that's what happens in a month. David, there's also a huge cheers to you right there, bud. That means you've picked up 100 subscribers. Well earned in the last month. Now, there's only a couple of days left to get into a response on this, and I couldn't wait. I wanted to do it, and it's something that I had to think about and find time for. So, what David wanted to see was put together a gig with multiple bands, kind of like a day-long gig, almost maybe like a Woodstock kind of thing, right? Multiple bands playing that day. Assemble a dream gig. So the way I'm going to come at it, although I'd love to do something metal, I couldn't narrow it down enough. But what I did think would be really cool, and it's being infused by the summer and being infused right now by a cold beer or a tall glass of lemonade or something like that, is something that embraces my just passion for southern rock, country rock, and good country music. Now, here's what I came up with. What bands would I invite to this gig? Well, what bands wouldn't I invite to the gig? But what southern rock throwdown could start without the mighty Lynyrd Skynyrd? Here's Last of a Dying Breed. This is Skynyrd's latest record from 2012. What can you say about Lynyrd Skynyrd? Lynyrd Skynyrd is a legend, and they're a legend for a reason. Now, there's a lot of folks that will tell you that after the plane crash that Skynyrd was no more. And I think that's a bunch of bullshit. Skynyrd has soldiered on. They've made some great albums. They've made some somewhat decent albums. And they have just kept on rocking. They can't be stopped. They won't be stopped. With Johnny Van Zant on vocals for a long time at this point, coming from his own Van Zant band in the early 80s, Ricky Medlock from Blackfoot in the band now, Skynyrd is a legend that refuses to die. And to have Johnny and company carrying the torch and carrying Skynyrd forward is just simply amazing. And I couldn't think of a better way to open the show. Even if they didn't play Sweet Home Alabama or Freebird, they would just draw a crowd and bring an energy to that show that's unparalleled. Now, a little bit of old meets new meets old, to keep the interest there, and just to keep those same kind of tunes coming. Here's a band called Stateline Mob, and this is their debut and only album. It's called Ruckus, and it was only available on CD. It was never pressed on vinyl. This was released on Severe Records in 2008. Stateline Mob is from Muscle Shoals, Alabama. Right there is where blues, country, and southern rock all collide head on. Now, Stateline Mob, they made one video for their song, It Keeps Me Going. It's available on YouTube. You can check it out. And this CD is just jacked full of just southern rock energy about your Dodge Charger and the county line and the deputy chasing you, right down to just laid back, by the creek, southern soul and goodness. This is a fantastic CD. As far as I know, it's only available on the band's website. That's where I got my copy. And if you do care to send them an email, they're fantastic people to talk to. It's Philip and Dana Crunk. They're husband and wife, and this is just an amazing CD. I loved every second of this, and I listen to this constantly. This comes out every summer. So we've got some southern rock and some southern soul and a little bit of southern blues in there. And how can we take that forward? Well, as I mentioned, I'm still a country music student, but man, have I dug my heels in deep, and I love me some 70s country or some authentic country, and those are the things that just resonate with me. And I've had help from some of the scholars here in the VC helping to point and guide and steer me in the right direction, and I couldn't be more thankful for it. One of the directions I was pointed in by Dave, someone 481, is to Dale Watson. And this is the Truckin' Sessions. This come out in 1998. The Truckin' Sessions, Dale Watson is from Texas. And Dale's been making about an album a year every year since 1995. And this is just that subgenre of country where it's just good old truck driving on the CB type stuff. I think like Smokey and the Bandit. Think way back then, hey Bandit, come on in, you got your ears on. I just saw Kojak with Kodak. And it's that kind of country. I mean, good luck, good trucking tonight. Big wheels keep on rolling. Meet me at the interstate, and it's just amazing stuff. But Dale is famously known for not wanting to do anything that is not authentic, good old country music. And even if that came at the expense of album sales, so be it. I believe there's 2 Truckin' Session CDs out, Volume 2, which I don't have yet. And also, to the best of my knowledge, this is not on vinyl. But this should not be missed. It's amazing. Now, how do we bring country into this and blend it with Southern rock? There's a lot of folks that made good music that just aren't around anymore. Your Johnny Cash, and maybe Merle Haggard isn't performing anymore. And Chris Christopherson is just starting to wind down. But how do we stay relevant? Who do we bring on stage? And I have to be honest with you, there's a lot of great acts out there, but if we have to keep it between 3 and 5, and I'm going to choose a 4th, hands down, I am going to choose Eric Church. And this is Eric's Caught in the Act. Now, for me, a lot of the music in the 80s that was country was singles driven. There just weren't a lot of good albums. There were some good singles, and it was commercial. In the 90s, with the exception of stuff, obscurities like Dale Watson, which was the exception rather than the rule, country took a nosedive, and it stayed there and through the early and mid-2000s. Now, in the mid-2000s, Eric Church kind of got his footing, and he moved to Tennessee and started releasing albums and writing his own albums and gaining some popularity. I only got into Eric over the last year, but just in the last year, I can't absorb enough Eric Church. Eric is the real deal, Holyfield. Eric is bundled in with contemporaries like Luke Bryan, and Luke Bryan is terrible. I can't stand Luke Bryan. And others along that same plane, just corporate country music, and it's terrible. Eric is a rockin' good time. Eric is far more Southern rock than he is country. The boy is from North Carolina. He has some fantastic music out, and just look at the cover of that album, Caught in the Act. You know right away, and this is one of the best album buys this year. This was a Record Store Day release. It's a 2 LP set of Eric live. And with the exception of maybe a couple of obviously aimed at radio tunes like Springsteen, the rest of it is just, this entire concert would be designed to empty every last drop of Budweiser or PBR from the venue where it's being held. Taps will be dry when it's over. And Eric is phenomenal. If you haven't given Eric a chance, I highly recommend you do. The boy was raised on Johnny Cash and Metallica, and he takes those two and the attitude, combines it, and Eric Church is here to stay. It's absolutely fantastic. As far as modern country music goes, or Southern rock goes, and again, I struggle putting Eric in the country bucket, and that's where he is, but that might not be where he truly belongs. As long as the boy keeps making music, I'm happy. That, David, is my response to your awesome question. Congratulations on your 150 subscribers, not your 50 subscribers. I have no question, in about 6 months, you better start thinking of your 1,000 subscribers contest, because you're well on your way. Hope you guys enjoyed. Feel free to leave a comment below, and I'll talk to y'all soon. Yeah!